Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you guys are new here, I'll let you guys know. I'm also new here. Um, I'm fairly small YouTuber. And I only have 56 subscribers, so please subscribe to my channel. And also, if you guys have any suggestions, leave down in a comment. I do reply to the comments really fast as well, and I do reply all my comments. So you guys can try yourself. Also, okay, let's start with this PC. So, bit of story time. So last night I was on a Facebook Marketplace. It was about like 10:30 at night time, literally, and I had this PC. Um, just seen it on the marketplace, and I was like, "Oh, it's actually a really good deal to not to be considered." I messaged seller, but he said he wanted gone ASAP, and he cannot wait till the morning. So I drove about 50 kilometers back and forth just to go get this PC. And you guys gonna know in a minute why I made that effort. Okay. So let's start with the specs. It's actually a really small case, to be honest. I don't know, compared to my full tower, look at this. It's tiny. It's definitely tiny. Okay. Um, so for the specs, it has an Asus motherboard, i5 6600K, GTX 950. That's really old. I'm definitely gonna change that. GTX 950 is barely gonna run anything in 2026, but we will definitely give it a try as well, just to see how well it runs the games and stuff. 16 GB DDR4. I don't know if I mentioned already. 500-watt PSU, and it also came with these two storage drives as well. So I think that was a really good deal. So, actually, there's a good story with the storage drives. Actually, good storage drives. It's a 2 TB hard drive and 240 GB SSD, and it's actually metal casing SSD from HyperX Fury. It actually feels really heavy compared to my other SSD. Just for the comparison, I don't know why I compared that, but the point is, it's a good quality SSD, so it was a good deal. I only paid 200 New Zealand dollars for this PC. That's about only 100 USD, and I'm sure this is as good as it can get with that kind of money. Um, okay, there was something wrong with it. That's the reason all of it is already out and waiting. The problem was all these cables were literally shoved into the case right here. It was like all jammed in. It took me a really long time to like just get these cables out. I had to get the hard drives out first, and it was the hard drives were sitting on top of each other as well. So it was sitting like this, and it was really hard to get this out as well. It was literally like that, fitting. Although there is another space here to put a hard drive, but I don't know. Seller was being lazy probably, and that's how he was using it. He said, to be honest, it's really dirty and dusty. So for the start, what we are gonna do is try to take all the components out of the motherboard.
So I can guarantee you guys, this was the easiest part of the whole process where I'm just taking this whole PC apart, and it was kind of fun. So it was just doing few screws out, and it was just straightforward process. Since I had that cable mess sorted, because it took me a long time to sort those cables, but now it was just straightforward process to get everything out. And here, as you guys can see, I'm trying to lay all the parts on the table.
Yes. It's all in a parts. So this is what we are working with today. That's case, power supply, motherboard and a CPU cooler, and CPU, AIO shield, 16 GB DDR4 RAM, GTX 950. This is what we got out of our marketplace PC today. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. That's the main thing. 2 TB hard drive and 240 GB SSD. With the RAM and SSD price, I think just this would cost me about 200 New Zealand dollar. That's 100 USD. We are going to talk in USD, but for to be honest, I think that was really good deal. Just to get this even in this prices of SSD and RAM. My plan is to get this thing fully apart, and it's gonna need a really good clean because I don't know if you guys can see it, it's really dirty.
So I ended up taking the front panel off as well and cleaned the fans from inside. And I used my Wolfbox 100 blower. It's really tiny and really powerful blower. That's a one product I would recommend you guys. I've been using it for last 6 months, I guess, and it's actually incredibly powerful. Say hi to my socks hands as well. One thing you guys have to be careful when you're cleaning the motherboard. You can definitely blow it with a blower, but use a soft brush like a makeup brush or something. The brush here I'm using it did came with my blower, and I'm also giving a good clean to my power supply as well, as I wanted to use all the components that I got with this PC, and I wanted to keep everything original so I can show you guys that $100 PC how good it runs all the games and stuff. So I'm giving good clean to the power supply from inside, and I've done this before as well. I do not recommend it, but I've done this before, and every other time my power supply works perfectly fine. So I don't know if you guys want to try that. But after giving everything a good clean, I gave GPU a good clean as well. I haven't re-thermal pasted this GPU, but I haven't had any thermal issues, which you guys will see later down the video. I did tested some games, and I gave a good blow to the GPU as well. To be honest, everything was really dusty. There was a thick dust on everything. With all the components clean, I just put the IO shield back in, and we are just going to align our motherboard with the IO shield. So while doing that, I did do a big mistake, which you guys will see me doing it live right now. I haven't put a CMOS battery in, and I won't be able to put that with my bare hands. So I'll have to get the motherboard out completely again and try put the CMOS battery back in. So here I'm taking the motherboard out. Because I wanted my BIOS flashed, I wanted to do this PC completely fresh. So I took the CMOS battery out so I can reset my BIOS as well. But after that, it went pretty smooth. I ended up putting all the components in pretty easily. So as you guys can see over here, it was really hard to do this cable management, to be honest, because it's a small case and this power supply is pretty huge. With the cables, there is a lots of cables that are not necessary especially for this case, but here we are trying to tuck all that behind the case, and it looks actually pretty good, to be honest. um Before, it was all shoved in right in front of the case, and I definitely sure that it was having a heating issues, probably because of that. Seller never said it did had a heating issue or anything like that. I did checked it at his house and it didn't had any heating issues, but I didn't do any formark test or CPU test or anything like that. But it looks pretty good after giving everything a good clean. Finally, PC is done. I did make some changes. I actually put a new fan on. That's a extra fan that I bought. It's a Fractal Aspect 12 RPM something fan. So you guys can look at this. That's what I put it on top to give it a better airflow. So from the front and the top, top is gonna get the air out. This side gonna get air out. And it's gonna feed the air from the front. So the PC is all working, and I wanted to mention couple things. I noticed in a BIOS that this is a DDR3 RAM that I have put it in, and that's what this motherboard supports. Yes, it's i5 6th gen CPU supporting DDR3 RAM, and that was a probably one of the strangest example I've seen. Um, okay, but I do want to mention that I did also did a mistake by putting the rear fan backwards, and I did change that. I also had a power on self test problem as well. I ran into that as well, but then it ended up running. As you guys can see now, it's running completely fine, and we are going to be into our Windows in a minute. So my plan was to record my screen with the capture card, but my capture card decided it's not gonna work, so I sent it back to get a new one. But here, as you guys can see, I tried 3 different games. I tried Counter-Strike 2 and Fortnite, a classic game that everybody tries, and I also tried PUBG. So PUBG was the hardest game to run on this GPU and CPU. To be honest, CPU was throttling while running PUBG, but it was ranging from like 95 to 90. So it wasn't too bad, but I did change some settings in all 3 games. And from here, you guys will see all the gameplays and all the FPSs. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate if you guys have watched this far. I'm a small YouTuber and I really need some subscribers, so please subscribe to my channel if you reach this far. And this project took me a long time to complete. I also work, so from work and recording, I don't get much time, but I finally completed this project and it was pretty good. It's $100 PC. I don't think it's a bad deal at all, even to play small titles like this. Yeah, you can absolutely buy a $50 GPU and chuck in this, and it'll run a games pretty fine. We can definitely make that video as well. I'll try put a RTX card in this PC and we'll see how well this PC runs games. Since it's actually a strangest PC I've ever seen, running a i5 6th gen CPU and DDR3 RAM. So I'm definitely curious how well this PC will run RTX card. But that will be for another video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.